everyone, welcome to your reading. So today we're going to find out which soul family member you're going to be meeting next. Will this be a romantic partner, a friend, a business partner? Now I know there's a little bit of cat fur on this blanket. I washed it, but she still got to it. So if you see any cat fur, it's all good. A big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. I'm just using the major arcana in this deck, and this is the Housewives Tarot. Okay, we've got the Sun here. Beautiful card to start us off. And we'll get 1 to 2 more cards. Group 1, your next soul family member, the Fool. Okay, and 1 more card, please, Spirit. Perfect. We have Temperance here. Okay, so this is definitely going to be a romantic partner for a lot of you. Now, if you are already with someone and you really feel like they are your soulmate, then this could also be referring to you sort of creating your own soul family member. And what I mean by that is you could be having a child with that person. And I say that because of the little mixer here and all of the different ingredients. You know, it makes me think of creating something. And, you know, in order to bring a child, another soul into incarnation, right? That involves the universe, right? God's timing, the divine, whatever like terminology you use, right? But, you know, it's a little bit of magic in there, right? I don't think there's anything more magical than like creating life, right? And so it could be possibly that you all are going to be having a child, and that will be your next soul family member, will be your own child. And so it will be a child that you really, really connect with. And so if you're going to be the mom in this scenario, you know, that child would kind of be like a mama's girl, a mama's boy, that sort of thing. So you would have an especially close connection with this child. They may end up being like a mini version of you kind of thing. Or like I said, you just share a very special bond. And you know that sometimes that happens where you form a closer connection with one parent versus the other. Okay, and then the third possibility that I'm seeing for this is that this could be, like I said, if you already feel like you're with your soulmate, if you absolutely do not want children, or for whatever reason that's just like not a possibility for you, then this could be referring to a soul family member who comes in and they encourage you as a friend to start something new, to make a major change that you have been kind of hesitant about. And so they encourage you to take a leap forward into something. And so this friend sort of is like the missing ingredient that was needed to encourage you to take action, because the Fool is always about starting a new chapter. In the major arcana, it's card 0. It's the very first card. And then with the Sun, this is divine masculine energy. And so this is putting something into action, right? And having the confidence to do so, because the Sun is also associated with Leo. And so with this Temperance here, I feel like, you know, they have a lot of patience with you, but they also encourage and motivate you. And like I said, they are that missing ingredient. Now that's a more specific message. I feel like for most of you, this is going to be you know, like a soulmate coming in that's a romantic partner. So just take which, you know, message is resonating the most for you. But I wanted to cover all possibilities. Okay. Let's get a few more details about this soul family member. We have ornaments here. So it is a remembrance of what once was, and with what will be a fragile beauty beaming upon thy. With this ornaments card, if you think about how much ornaments are used, they're like a staple in decorating for the holidays for a lot of people. And so this tells me that when this soul family member comes in, they're not meant to stay in your life for a season. They're meant to stay for a really long time. And there's gonna sort of serve as your emotional rock. They're gonna be your support system. and they're going to help you a lot. And if you are resonating with this message being your future child, then this tells me that they're almost going to start to become the epicenter of your world. And if you think about the sun being the center of the universe kind of thing, or the center of our universe as we know it in our like planetary system. So this idea, and this even sort of looks like the sun coming above this flame, right? You could be having a Leo child or a Sagittarius child or an Aries child, because I tend to associate the Fool with Aries because it's the first sign in the zodiac. So definitely possibly a fire sign child if you were resonating with that message. Or it could be saying that it's really encouraging you to pursue something creative, right? But anyways, this tells me that they're going to start to become the center of your world. They're going to be really important. And yet, as much as you pour into them, the reward back is so great. And I think a lot of parents would say that, yes, children are a lot of work. They really are. And when they say it takes a village to raise a child, there's truth in that as well, right? But the reward is so great, right? Like to have someone love you and be completely and totally dependent upon you. Like it's such a great responsibility. And yet at the same time, it's such a huge blessing. And so I feel like it's going to help you grow in a lot of ways. Now, if this is a romantic partner, this is telling you that, this could potentially be your future spouse. This could be your life partner. And you're going to share a lot of traditions with this person. And we have feasting. Let us feast upon the nourishing and be thankful for thy feast, nor here or there, yet everywhere it be. So there's great abundance that's coming in as a result of this soul family member. And so when we think about abundance, it's more than just material wealth. And so this card here, especially with gatherings also coming out for you, it says, gather, gather, festive witches, speak of joy and drink to wishes, take one, give two, celebrating all blisses. Making memories, an abundance of memories, sharing in moments together, little moments on a day-to-day basis, but also the big moments too, celebrating milestones. And so I feel like, regardless of which of those messages you were resonating with in the very beginning, this is telling me that the greatest gift out of all of it is going to be the memories that you make with this person and the memories you get to share with this person. And it's going to be something that's really beautiful and wholesome and comforting and, I think a relationship that you're going to cherish for the rest of your life. And when you look back on your life, when you get older, when it's your time to go, this is going to be something that really stands out to you. Like this relationship is going to be one of the greatest loves of your life. Whether it is a super supportive friend that just changes the whole course of your life, a friend that pushes you and motivates you in a very, again, like gentle, supportive way towards accomplishing a big dream of yours, making a certain decision that you've been hesitating on, whether it's a romantic partner that ends up being your life partner, or whether it's your child, but it's going to be one of the defining relationships of your life that, you will hold closest to your heart. And I know we're like kind of past or starting to get past the autumn season. I don't think we're officially in winter yet, but I haven't used this deck yet in a reading and I really wanted to. So pretty. Okay, group 1. We have foraging. There is no better feeling than having gone after what you desire. I love this because I think, again, regardless of which message you are resonating with the most in the beginning, this idea of going after what you want, whether it's putting your heart out there and being emotionally vulnerable with a romantic partner and hoping for the best, and then them ending up being your life partner, or whether it is, embarking upon motherhood or fatherhood, parenthood, that's a really big deal. Or whether it's a friend encouraging you to go after your dream, that takes a lot of heart too. And so I feel like this entire connection is so heart opening. It requires a gamble, it requires a risk, but again, like the reward is so great. Especially if you're having a child, and I'm going through this now, like being pregnant, but like, I don't know, what my son is going to be like. I don't know what unique, challenges it might present. It's a completely new experience for me. And even if I already had a child, which I don't, but even if I already did, I wouldn't necessarily know, because every child is so unique, right? Every child has their own, special needs and personalities and, all of that good stuff. And so, it is always a risk, right? And it's always sort of a gamble, because you don't know exactly what's going to happen. You don't know what the outcome is going to be. And, part of you is questioning, am I up to the task? So whether it's trying to figure out how to share your life with someone and it's romantic, or trying to rearrange your life to be a parent, or trying to start a new business, a new creative endeavor, it's a gamble. It requires something special of you, right? It requires you to get out of your comfort zone and do something you've never tried before. And I think your soul has been yearning for this challenge. We have witches gathering, gather in power, come together in grace. Unity is rising and all will be embraced. So if you feel like you haven't really met any soul family members yet, this could be signifying here with this card that meeting this soul family member is kind of like the domino effect. This person ends up connecting you with so many other soul family members. So, your future romantic partner, if it's a romantic soulmate coming in, this could be, maybe one of their family members or their friend group ending up being, part of your soul family as well. Or it could be that having a child, then maybe you start to join, groups for mothers or groups for parents, and then you end up meeting more soul family members that way. Or it could be that if this is, a friend that motivates you towards something, this could be you connecting with soul family members who are friends of their friends. Or it could be whatever, like if this is a creative endeavor, you starting your own business, you could develop a following, or you could serve people who are also in your soul family. So, many different ways that this could play out. Now we're gonna get some words of advice, self-care messages, but for those of you who are resonating with the romantic message, we will get some cards for that as well. So if you were not resonating with it being a romantic soulmate, you don't have to stay around for those final cards. Group 1, messages from their next soul family member, please, Spirit. And I want this card as well. We have self here, and we did say a heart-opening experience. How beautiful is that? It says, if beating yourself up worked, you'd be thin, rich, and happy. Try loving yourself instead. And, these aren't necessarily ideals for everybody, right? Well, most people, I assume, want to be happy. But the whole concept behind this is being too hard on yourself, being a perfectionist, fixating on your self-perceived, shortcomings, flaws, it's only going to make you feel worse about yourself. It's not going to help you evolve or grow or change in any positive direction. And so loving and accepting yourself is actually a good starting place to change, as counterintuitive as that may seem. And then we have possibility. Focus your attention on what could go right. When you learn to imagine the best case scenario, you get to enjoy an experience twice. That's really great, because if you think about anxiety, a lot of times we're so anxious about things that never even come to pass. And so we punish ourselves for things that aren't even in existence. And even if it does happen, you just kind of increase your own suffering, right? And so I like this kind of mindset. Just imagine the best case scenario. And it's a really great mantra to have, like, everything in my life is working out best case scenario. And just keep saying that to yourself, and it can be really comforting. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some love messages now. That's my hair. Get rid of that. Okay. Group 1. If this is a romantic soulmate, what should my group 1s know? We have healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents and release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Okay. So if you're wondering, why haven't I met them yet? These may be something that you need to clear up. Now, both of these cards may not resonate for everyone. Maybe only some of you resonate with this first one. Maybe only some of you resonate with the second card. But if there's any resentment towards your ex, if you're still talking to your ex, if you feel like they're still somehow energetically, connected to you, it could be beneficial to clear that out. And then in terms of healing family issues, this is a tough one. This one's a lot harder than the second card, in my opinion. And a lot of times we're forgiving people without ever having an apology, right? We're just having to come to a state of acceptance or ambivalence because we can't carry that around with us. It's too much of an emotional burden to drag around resentment, anger, hurt. It's painful to carry all of that around. It weighs us down. And, a lot of times when people, hurt us on those levels, they're not really thinking about us the way that we're carrying around all of that emotional baggage. Maybe they feel a little bit guilty, but a lot of times I feel like people, in order to cope with guilt, end up blaming the person that they hurt because that's easier than admitting what they've done wrong. And then I think also in terms of family issues, having, and this is difficult, but I think sometimes it does help to kind of remember our family are just people and they're sort of going through things for the first time in the same way that we are. And a lot of times I think as a society, we kind of put parents on a pedestal and we look up to them and we have all of this trust in them as children. But as we get older, we start to realize they are flawed human beings just the same as we are. And they are, just as complicated as we are. And, maybe they had things that happened in their childhood. And at some point, the cycle has to be broken, right? And so it might explain their behavior, but it certainly doesn't justify it, right? And we know that. And so it's like, you can have compassion for whatever they've been through, but at the same time, you can still hold them accountable. And I think, if it comes to a place where you have to do no contact, don't let anyone make you feel guilty about that. A lot of times people will say, but it's your mom, it's your mom, it's your mom. Okay, but, or it's your dad, but, you can only do so much. So if the other person isn't willing to resolve or change their behavior or compromise in any sort of way, you can't keep putting yourself in a situation where you are repeatedly hurt, right? And so my whole point with that is, don't let anyone try to tell you how you should handle it. They don't know, everything you've been through with your family. They don't know the dynamic. They're certainly not in a position to judge. And so do what is best for you and your mental and emotional well-being. And, try to move on as best as you can, whether that's forgiving them, accepting the situation for what it is, achieving some level of indifference or ambivalence towards them where it no longer affects you energetically. or, you know, even like I said, creating new boundaries or going no contact, whatever you have to do. But that's completely up to you how you choose to handle that. Okay, group 1, this was your reading, short, sweet, and simple, and to the point. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing to seeing you in my next video. Please take care, group 1. Hi group 2, welcome to your reading. So let's find out your next soul family member. Who are you meeting next? Group 2, a big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. Group 2, your next soul family member. What do we need to know, group 2? Okay, we've got strength. We've got temperance. This is a little bit similar to the energy in group 1. They got the sun card and temperance, but the sun and strength are both associated with Leo, so I think that's interesting. And we have the hermit here. Okay. I do want to get a few more cards about this situation. Group 2, their next soul family member. The 6 of Pentacles. We've got the King of Wands and the 2 of Cups. Okay. All right, so for most of you, this is going to be a romantic partner. This is going to be a romantic soulmate. But for a few of you, this could potentially be a business partner. Now, this will be someone you go into business with, someone that you share a business with. But I think for the majority of you, this is a future romantic partner. And with the Hermit card here, they are coming in after a time where you've been single for a while, you've been alone for a while. And you're at a place where you're just very independent, very much just focused on yourself, you know, giving yourself grace, building up your self-esteem, working on your self-love, focused on your own goals, all that good stuff. And so they sort of come into your life when you're not really looking anymore. And so, you know, you're in a good space though with the Hermit. You know, it's not an energy where you're miserable and lonely. Not with this particular spread here. You're really in a good place, you know, like you're just thriving. I'm hearing 30, flirty, and thriving from 13 going on 30. But you're doing really well. You know, you're just loving yourself, focused on yourself, doing your own thing, and you're really content with it. And so, you know, when this person comes into your life and they are represented by the King of Wands here, now remember, this is just divine masculine energy. It's not necessarily referring to the person's gender. But this is a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, which is funny because your first two cards were Leo energy and Sagittarius energy. So that's really cool to see. So definitely Leo and Sagittarius energy is indicated here. You could also be a Virgo, but you don't have to be with the Hermit card being here. But if you want to take that as extra confirmation that you chose the right group, that's great. But yeah, this is going to be a very balanced, healthy connection. I do feel like this King of Wands is balancing you out. With the Temperance card here, you two really play off of each other really well. And I think you both have very different strengths. And so where the other person might be lacking a little bit or has, you know, an area for growth, the other person has a strength in that area. And so you two really help each other to grow, which makes sense for this being a soulmate, you know, level connection. With the Six of Pentacles, you absolutely share past lives with this person. This is not y'all's first incarnation together. And, you know, even if this is a romantic partner and not a business partner, this is still someone who's going to help you financially. And so this does look like to be someone that you would marry, or that would be like your life partner, or a long-term relationship where you two really help each other build up your wealth and you share your resources together. But it does feel like financially you two are both contributing, but together, like your finances are increased, right? So like having a dual income, but both of you have a lot to offer. And, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that both of you are making the same amount of money. If you think about one person, almost like putting in like sweat equity, right? Like if one person does a lot of the household chores and does the cooking and all of that good stuff, and the other person works outside of the home, the other person who is staying at home, even though financially they may not be contributing as much as the person who works outside of the home, that sweat equity, right? Like they're doing all of these other things that are helping the other person just focus on their job, you know, and focus on, you know, their work. And so they don't have to worry about dinner. They don't have to worry about cleaning. They don't have to waste money ordering out because dinner's already made, you know, that kind of thing. And with the Two of Cups, you know, regardless of whether this is a romantic connection or this is a business connection, this is still going to be a relationship where there's a lot of respect and there's a lot of mutual effort, and there is a lot of mutual understanding, shared goals. I'm hearing shared values. And with the Strength card being here, this is a relationship that can really stand the test of time. And so, you know, you don't have to worry about having a falling out with this person. You know, you don't have to worry about if you end up marrying this person. You don't have to worry about getting a divorce if this is your business partner. You don't have to worry about having an argument or a disagreement over the business that leads to you to going your separate ways. This is a connection that can really withstand, you know, challenges. And there's always going to be challenges, right? There's always going to be unexpected curveballs that life will throw at you. That's why we have the Wheel of Fortune in the major arcana. But this is a strong relationship, you know, and I think it's because of the mutual respect that's there. I mean, that's the bedrock. And in terms of this King of Wands, you know, this is someone who is really ambitious, really action-oriented, you know. They don't overthink things, you know. They go with their gut, and they're super passionate. They can be, you know, a bit blunt when they're talking, but they don't lie, and they don't mince their words, you know. They say how they feel, and, you know, they can be quite charming, very charismatic, great sense of humor, fantastic sense of humor. And they aren't someone who dwells on things. They don't hold grudges. And they have a very kind kind of unique and creative way of looking at the world. And I think it's because the King of Wands is someone who's more playful and more lighthearted. And so they still have a connection with their inner child. And so I think that is what helps them not to become arrogant and to just be confident and charming, but still be humble. I think that's one of the strengths of the King of Wands. And something that makes them, really likable. Let's get any more information about this connection. The 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, like I said, it's going to definitely increase your financial standing, going to definitely increase your wealth, for sure. So if you guys start a business together, it's going to be quite lucrative. And with the 4 of Pentacles being here, this is something that can evolve over time. And so it can be a little bit of a process. So like if you start a business with this person, you wouldn't necessarily have overnight success. And yet, because you're building your success, honestly, you're building it up very diligently, I'm hearing. There's a lot of effort into it. It's not, let's try to make some quick money kind of thing and then have something that's unstable or that doesn't last. We're not going to cut corners kind of thing. And so you form a really solid foundation for your business, a really solid like customer base or a solid following, whatever you're doing here. And it's something that will last. And now that I'm thinking about it, just because it's a romantic partner doesn't mean they can't also be your business partner. I don't know why that didn't occur to me before. Hold on, my cats are fighting. Sorry about that, guys. So I was saying, I don't know why it didn't occur to me before that they couldn't also be your business partner. So if you are looking for love and also wanting to start a business, or you've always wanted to own your own business, this could be, and even if you have an existing business, they could come in as your partner. So, feel free to claim both messages if that's resonating. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. Because when I was looking at that 10 of Pentacles, I started to think this could also be talking about creating generational wealth or forming a legacy, with each other. So even if you don't, end up having children with this person, it could be that your business, works with a charitable organization and starts a foundation that lives on even after, like you pass away or you close your business. So yeah, I think this is really cool, really cool. Okay. We'll get a few more messages now about this connection. We have poinsettia. It might be poinsettia. I don't know how you pronounce that, but anyway. Cast the shadows, scream silence at them, dear witch. What lurks inside transforms into the most beautiful beauty. I feel like if the shadow of the past is still lingering around you, if there was some heartbreak in your past, some disappointment in love, if you've tried, to have a business partner before and it didn't work out, or you tried to start your own business before and it didn't work out, or people are being really discouraging about you going into business for yourself, don't let that affect you, It says scream silence at them, like just let it go and have faith in yourself, have trust in yourself. And it's a good thing that this soul family member is the King of Wands, because we were talking about that King of Wands being a super confident person, right? So they're going to help you, like if there's any sort of doubt, any sort of fear lingering, any self-limiting beliefs, this soul family member is really going to give you the confidence boost that you need to either open up your heart or, pursue this dream. And then we have candle magic. Finger the spine and caress thy lips. Light the spell spilling from your grip. So this could be a way for you to call in this soul family member sooner, is working with candle magic. So it could be as simple as lighting a candle and writing down, that you set the intention to call in this soul family member. And then you can light that paper. Be safe because it's fire. And you can do that. Or you can just light a candle and sort of meditate on the flame and say that intention in your mind. You can light a candle and say a prayer. Any sort of candle magic that resonates with you, a certain color, maybe green for abundance, or green is also for the heart chakra, so love. Okay, if you are resonating with this being a romantic partner, let's go ahead and get some messages now. We have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. We have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. I love this. I love this so much. So it's telling me there's going to be these really intimate moments between you two where it feels like the rest of the world sort of melts away and it's just you and this person. And so there's a lot of romance. There's a lot of heart-to-heart conversations. There's a lot of passion there, a lot of devotion, a lot of affection. But at the same time, there's this beautiful, almost like realism to this connection that I really appreciate, because it does feel so grounded and rooted, like you two are meant to achieve like great things together. And so it's like we have all of this sort of romantic magic happening between us, but then on the other side of it, we are both willing and capable of putting in the effort to make this last, and we're both going to really do what it takes to make sure that we have this like stable, lasting connection. And relationships are work. And so like I was saying before, it's like that self-respect and that mutual respect that you two have between each other is really going to help this connection stand the test of time. Okay, let's go ahead and get some self-care, self-wisdom cards for you all to end your reading. Group 2. We have move. A long walk is good for the soul. Get outside and allow Mother Nature to lift your spirits. And we have sovereign here. You are the queen of your life, or king. Treat yourself like royalty. 100% feel like that's something the King of Wands would say, like, take your power back. Yeah, I love that, this balance between taking a rest but also empowering yourself is really super beautiful. All right, group 2, this was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please take care. I'm wishing you the very best, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Please take care. Hi, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and find out the next soul family member you're going to be meeting. Group 3, a big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. Group 3, your next soul family member. We've got the Chariot. So we've got Cancer energy coming through already. We have Judgment. Ooh, okay. I'm getting into it now. Oh, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So this is all like divine timing, karma. With the Chariot here, I'll be curious to see how the rest of your cards go. But just from this alone, it feels like this person comes into your life, but whether or not they actually stay in your life will be a decision that you end up making. And it could also be that they prompt you. Something about them pushes you to make a major life decision, pushes you to go in the direction of your success. And, you know, some people are like that. You know, they're in our life for a season, but they play such a pivotal role. And just because they're in your life for a season doesn't mean it's a negative thing, right? Sometimes it is, you know, but a lot of times when a soul family member comes and they don't stay in our lives, it's because they're meant to kind of push us into a new chapter. They help us change kind of the course of our lives, you know, they get us on the right path. And with your bottom of the deck being the Hanged Man, this person really gives you a different perspective. I mean, they really kind of change almost like your philosophy on life. Or help you reconsider your values. But yeah, this is very much a fated connection. Divine timing. There's 100% a soul contract here with, I'm hearing, very clear, specific terms. Okay, let's get some more information on this. Yeah, with like the meat kind of being like on this scale here, it's like they help you decide what you value and what you will give weight to in your life. And I'm hearing, what cost are you willing to pay for certain things? That's interesting. What cost are you willing to pay? So what cost, what sacrifices would you be willing to make for the love of your life, for your dream job, for your dream house? The Five of Pentacles. Okay, so this is related to your career. This is 100% related to your career. The Seven of Cups. So you may be in a financially like tough spot, or you're just not where you want to be financially, or you just have this lack mentality when it comes to your career, like other people can make money easier than me. Other people can, you know, get promotions more easily than me. Other people can go back to school and change their careers, but for me, that's not practical. Other people can follow their passion or start their own business, but for me, that's not practical. You know, whatever the case may be, but there's some kind of lack mentality there, or like I have to work super hard to get ahead, you know, where we know some people get ahead by like dumb luck, or they're like a personality hire or something, right? Yep. Okay, with the Seven of Cups here, they help you see that you have more options than you realize. So they do help to empower you. You know, they encourage you not to limit yourself, and they also encourage you to take decisive action. Like, don't sit there and weigh your options to the point to where you overthink, you have analysis paralysis, and you're so anxious about making the wrong decision that you never make any choice at all. And with the Four of Cups here, it's like this person comes into your life as a blessing in disguise. Let's get some more information about that. How are they a blessing in disguise? The Two of Wands. Okay, yeah, like they're getting you out of a stagnant energy. They're getting you out of your comfort zone. And that's going to make you feel obviously uncomfortable initially. You may resent this person for how they push you or how blunt they are with you. You know, Group 1 has a soul family member who is like gently supportive, whereas this person kind of comes in like a wrecking ball and they're like, look. Group 3 You are stuck. You got to do something. You are stuck. The Five of Cups. Yeah, like you are not in the best space when you meet this person, like whatsoever. You know, you have this lack mentality, or financially things aren't going great. You feel stuck, you feel stagnant. You know, you're really fixating on what isn't right in your life instead of looking at your strengths, or potentially like how you can change the situation or what is going right. You're not in the best headspace, and that's okay. Like, we've all been in the Five of Cups before. We've all been in the Five of Pentacles before. It's okay. But all these repeating fives mean that you are due for a change. Group 3, you are due for a change. Yeah, the Eight of Cups. They force you to walk away from something. And, you know, it's bittersweet, right? Because some of those cups are okay, right? Like the Eight of Cups, like, you know, it's giving me enough, kind of, but it's not giving me as much as what I deserve, you know? And I know I'm settling. I know that I'm settling. I know I deserve more, but I'm staying here, you know? And a lot of times I say this over and over again on this channel, change is hard, change is scary, the unknown is scary. So a lot of times we trick ourselves into staying with the devil that we know, because at least there's comfort in the known. Even if it's not what we want, at least we know what we're getting. And so they encourage you to follow your heart. They encourage you to follow what is going to make you feel emotionally fulfilled in relation to your career. And with the Ace of Swords, they are blunt. They are so blunt. And it's because they are being used by the divine, by your guides, as a vessel to express to you exactly what needs to be said. And so they are cutting through like this knife, and it's not going to feel pleasant. You may be resistant when they say what they say to you in the beginning, but eventually you take their advice. Now, you have free will. So with the Chariot, you know, you can potentially just say, I'm going to stay where I'm at. But obviously the guidance here is to take the advice and run with it. But yeah, this person isn't meant to stay in your life. They're just meant to help you stop the stagnancy and make a decision, make a choice. Any more information about this group 3's guides, please, Spirit? Oh, wow, yeah. Okay, we got the Four of Swords. We've got the Seven of Swords. I feel like the Seven of Swords is you lying to yourself, quite honestly. You convincing yourself that you can't do something, that you're stuck, that you don't have any choice. All of that. And so you've just been in this space of not doing anything. And you are stealing your own peace of mind from yourself. You're telling yourself you're okay, that it's fine, that this will do, it's okay. But really, that desire, that calling that you have towards something more, something greater in your career, in your professional life, whatever you want to do for work, even if you want it to be like a stay-at-home mom or dad, like that's still a calling in life, right? Like whatever calling in life you have that you are denying yourself, you are stealing your own peace of mind. That desire is not going away. Just because you repress it, it's not going away. And so this person is helping you, you know, to push you to make a decision. If group 3 takes this person's advice, what is the outcome, please, Spirit? The Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, we've got the Two of Cups. And the bottom of the deck is the the Knight of Cups. We were just talking about them trying to get you to a place of emotional fulfillment. in your career and your professional life, following your passion, filling up your own cup. But not only that, it seems like to me, once you do that, you connect with even more soul family members and potentially a future romantic partner if you're single. This is like a whole up leveling in how much you are emotionally content in your life. You would have the ability to fill up your own cup because you wouldn't be so miserable about feeling stuck and stagnant, right? We already said you weren't in a great headspace when you meet this person. And so it really kind of feels like this is going to put you on a path towards you feeling more emotionally content across the board in your life. So initially this would just benefit your career, but moving forward, you know, if we took it even further, it would benefit you in multiple areas of your life, including your relationship with yourself. Okay, let's go ahead and get some self-care wisdom cards to end your reading, group 3. And we have friend here. Be as good of a friend to yourself as you are to others. Honestly, like, it wouldn't surprise me if this person ends up being your friend, but you know how some friends are kind of like, it's like we're friends, but we like have like a lot of conflicts, you know, like there's a lot of disagreements or our personalities kind of clash, or we seem like an odd pairing. Like, how are those two even friends? That's kind of the vibe here, because I feel like this person is so much more blunt. They have such a different perspective than what you're used to. And, you know, like long term, would a friendship like this be sustainable? No, but they do help you in a major way. Okay, and then we have action here. Baby steps are still steps, and they're better than standing still. Love that. And I think that's part of it. Like, you may have worked this up so big in your mind that it feels like completely unachievable, and so you don't do anything. Whereas this person kind of helps you to see you can take small steps, you know, in the direction of this. It doesn't have to be so dramatic. It doesn't have to be as hard as what you're thinking it's going to be. And actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I had a friend, more than a couple, several years ago. And we met when we were both working at an assisted living. And I was talking to her, you know, about like my plans for grad school and all of this. And she was talking about how she wasn't really sure about what she wanted to do. And I started talking to her about nursing school. And so she ended up going on to be a nurse. And, you know, like in terms of our like compatibility with each other, like our friendship was kind of a struggle because she, you know, was like always late or like canceling plans last minute. That was just who she was. You know, it wasn't like she just did it to me. She did it to everyone. She just didn't have a good respect for like other people's time. And she was just one of those people that doesn't have a filter. Whereas I am very measured in my words, and I'm like very tactful. And so in that way, and I'm not saying one approach is better than the other, because sometimes, you know, I should say more than what I do, but we were just not compatible like long term as friends. I think, you know, there were a lot of other issues in the friendship, but those were like two big issues, because I just felt like ultimately there wasn't enough respect there to, you know, continue to maintain the friendship. But I like changed the whole, you know, trajectory of her career. You know, she had no plans on being a nurse until I started talking to her about it. And as far as I know, she's a great nurse now, as far as I know. So it could be something like that. I just had to share that personal example with you because it did come to mind. All right, group 3, this was your reading. I hope that you enjoyed it. I wish you the very best of luck with this decision whenever this whole situation comes to pass. I wish you all the bravery that you need to make this happen. And yeah, please take care, group 3. I hope to see you in my next video.